Roborock has just released two brand new robot vacuums. We've got the Saros 10 and the Saros 10R. But what's the difference between these two new studs and which one is right for you? That is what we're going to be diving into in this video. So if you're not familiar, Roborock is one of the most liked robot vacuum brands out there. I have covered a lot of different robot vacuums over the years, and Roborock is the name I see most in my comments. People just love them. Now, this is my first time working with Roborock, so I'm excited to check out their tech and what it offers. Also, I want to thank Roborock for sending these two vacuums out and sponsoring today's video. So before we talk about the differences with these two vacuums, let's talk about some of their similarities. Both vacuums are incredibly slim. I'm talking 3.14 inches tall. On the bottom of both of these vacuums, we have a dual anti-tangle brush system. We see here that we have not only bristles, but we also have rubber exposed, and this is going to be a lot better for picking up hair. Now, the dual brush design moves hair from the outside into the middle, which shortens the time for the hair to get actually sucked in and less time for it to get tangled into the brushes. Now, the two brushes actually rotate at different speeds, which allows it to tear up any bundles of hair that it may run into and get it sucked into that dustbin. I wanted to demo how well it can actually pick up the hair and not get it stuck into the bristles. So I cleaned out a bunch of brushes and laid that hair on the ground, ran the vacuum over it to see if it was gonna leave a lot of that hair actually on the ground or suck it up. It did a great job of sucking all of that hair up. I immediately then wanted to flip it over and see how much hair was actually going to be stuck into these bristles. And as you can see here, nothing was left in the bristles. Opening up the actual dustbin itself, you can see all the hair that it sucked up, which is then going to get put into the base station for you to empty out later. These both have Adaptalift chassis, so they can clear a threshold of 1.57 inches. They both have side brushes that lift up, a main brush that lifts up, mop pads that lift up, and the entire vacuum itself can lift itself. Now, inside the base station of both of these guys, we have clean and dirty water bins, also dust bags. These both have 176-degree hot water cleaning for cleaning the mop pads, and then also the dock down below where those mop pads sit. They both have warm drying so it doesn't build up any bacteria, and they both have auto mop removal. So yes, both of these vacuums right here can remove their mop pads if they're gonna go out and just do a vacuum, so that way they're not dragging those wet mop pads all over the place. All these similarities are pretty impressive. Now, the first differences between these two are gonna be their navigation systems. Now, if you take a look at the Saros 10, we see that it's got an RGB camera. We've also got a vertical wall sensor here on the front. And this does have a retract sense navigation system. Essentially what that means is that the LiDAR here on top will actually lower itself when it's coming close to furniture that it needs to go under and it's too tall. On the front of the device here, we have an upward range finder. So this sensor right here emits a laser beam that detects the height of low spaces above the device to direct the LDS to lower or raise. Right in front of that, we have a top contact sensor. So this can detect inclined low clearance spaces in real time, making smart decisions even at critical height to avoid forcing entry, reducing the risk of surface scratches. In other words, this is a front bumper for the device, but on the top. So when it comes to an area where it's going to bump into a surface pushing downwards, it knows that that area is going to be too high for it to go into. Now, going back to the retractable LiDAR, this is a wide angle vision module, allows the LDS sensor to maintain a broad field of view even when lowered, preventing mapping loss and ensuring a smooth navigation through low clearance areas. Now, on the back of the device, we see that it has a 100-degree wide angle vision module, ensuring uninterrupted operation. So when that LiDAR system does go down into the unit, it still has a vision in the back for detecting walls, furniture, everything that is around it. Now, jumping over to the Saros 10R, we see here we've got the RGB camera and the vertical wall sensor, but this one right here also has something called a StarSight Autonomous System 2.0, and that has 3D sensing for enhanced navigation. It has a dual transmit solid state LDR with 22 times higher sampling frequency than the LDS at 38,400 hertz. It also has 3D time-of-flight technology to deliver the best navigation out there. Its advanced depth sensing provides true 3D spatial awareness, enabling precise localization, comprehensive mapping, and reliable obstacle avoidance. Now we're talking here smartphone face recognition levels of 3D scanning accuracy. Next, we have the difference in their obstacle avoidance systems, which I think is the most important part. The Saros 10 features an advanced perception system. If you take a look at the front, we've got the RGB camera over here, and then we've also got the triple structure light. In addition to that, we've also got what they call vertibeam, which is a lateral structured light. It offers a wider obstacle avoidance view, minimal blind spots, and clear detection near and far with swift response. The vacuum also features millisecond level reaction precision. So we're getting real-time responses for seamless and effective cleaning that adapt to your home. The vertibeam lateral obstacle avoidance precisely measures the distance between the robot and side obstacles, ensuring accurate edge cleaning along furniture and obstacles. Essentially what this means is it effectively detects the height and distance from lateral furniture and cables, giving us precision edge cleaning that is close but collision free. Now for the Saros 10R, we're getting StarSight Autonomous System 2.0 that uses a dual transmitter 3D time of flight sensor plus the RGB camera on the front to detect obstacles. The 3D dual transmitter has a solid state LiDAR that uses more than 21,600 sensor points. The built-in AI can recognize up to 108 types of obstacles and can detect small objects as small as 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. Just like the Saros 10, the Saros 10R also has the vertibeam lateral obstacle avoidance. So when it does come up against furniture that is weirdly shaped, it can detect it and not get too close to it, scratching any of the surfaces or sides. Lastly, here we have the mopping system, and the Saros 10 has the Vibra Rise 4.0 mopping system. Now with the Vibra Rise, this has a mopping pad on the back that is 26% larger. It does vibrate back and forth at 4,000 times per minute. Also on the bottom here, you see that it has a side mop that can independently lift itself. This allows it to lower itself only when it detects an edge to ensure optimal edge cleaning performance. The Saros 10 also has this cool feature where it can mop over again for harder or stubborn stains. So when it's activated in the AI laboratory via the Roborock app, the Saros 10 detects wet stains like coffee spills and lifts up its Omni wheel. So that's going to be the wheel on the front of the vacuum. It's going to lift that up, which essentially is going to put the vacuum on a tilt. When it does that, it actually applies extra pressure on the back of the mop there, which allows for a deeper, more immediate clean. Now the chassis adjusting on that back mop is going to be between 8 millimeters all the way up to 18 millimeters. So it can lift up that mop if it's going over rugs or carpet or anything like that to keep from getting any of those wet. And like I mentioned earlier, when this is in the base station, it can remove that mop pad. So if you send it out for a vacuum only mode, or maybe in the app, you can set it up to where it does a vacuum first and then a mop second. It will detach that mop pad if it's doing the vacuuming first, go back, pick it up, and then do the mopping after that. Now, both of these vacuums have incredible suction. I have it here vacuuming up coffee grounds, and it did a fantastic job. Now you don't have to worry about dust getting stuck in any of the grooves of your floors. Now, for the Saros 10R, we have got dual spinning mop pads on the back. So a different look here. These are going to spin here at 200 revolutions per minute. The outside brush here on the back does extend for closer cleaning edges, and that extension also applies to the front brush too. So both that brush in the front and the mop pad in the back will extend out when you're getting closer to edges to make sure it's getting everything as clean as possible. This also does have a chassis adjust lift, meaning that the mop pad itself can go anywhere from 15 millimeters all the way up to 22 millimeters high, and also can detach inside of the mop. So if you're running any of those vacuum only modes, the mop pads will detach and stay in the base station and only come out when they are needed. Now, what does all this mean and how does it apply to you? Well, the Saros 10 is particularly suited for large homes with higher deep cleaning demands. As a comprehensive upgrade to the S8 Max V Ultra, their previous flagship vacuum, the Saros 10 optimizes every detail to provide users with an unparalleled cleaning experience. If you need fast cleaning for a large house and the edges and corners are prone to household dirt and the gaps in your floor are prone to fine dust, say like coffee grounds, and you prefer stronger suction, then you're gonna wanna go with the Saros 10. Now the Saros 10R is better suited for people with more medium to long carpet and those with complex indoor environments and home decor structures. If you have medium to long carpet in your house, small objects, for example, kids and pets leaving toys all over the place like I experience, maybe special shaped furniture, thin legs of tables and chairs, and want to try new navigation and obstacle avoidance technology, then the Saros 10R is the way you want to go. Well, hopefully this cleared up the decision for you on which vacuum to get. If you guys want to know more about either one of these, take a look at the links in the description. If this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.